All right, good morning, guys. Back at it with another MLB DFS video. This yesterday kind of brought me back to July. I won't lie. Um, Boston stack went 3 for 9 with an RBI. The Yankees didn't do amazing, but we had a late Judge home run. He got walked 3 times, got a solo home run. Just overall bad day. Scherzer got 46, 7 innings, got the quality start, 6 strikeouts, got the win points. It was just an unbelievable day. I cannot believe Boston again screwed us over, and yet I still like them today. But what were your thoughts about yesterday?
Yeah, earlier in the day, I really didn't like Boston all that much. And then I saw a slight boost on Ballpark Pal, and I was like, damn it, I'm gonna have to play these guys. And they still sucked. Brady Singer, pretty decent last couple starts now for him. Boston, a little bit of a slump. Devers, anytime he's over 20%, I swear to God, he goes over 4 every time. Um, we played Trevor Story in his first game back in like 5 months. It was probably a dumb play. 0 for 4 himself. Played chalk Tyrone Taylor, Ben Price, over 3. Just a dumb lineup, dumb slate. Logan Gilbert, 60, almost 70 pieced. That was kind of interesting at 2%. Other than that, like offense was just kind of weird. I think the top lineup ended up being like a Atlanta Pittsburgh game stack with Gilbert, which is a nice build, but like Nolan Jones double dong, Tucker grand slam, and then Kansas City nuking is not what you expect.
It would have been kind of nice to stay at Kansas City just kind of for fun. Just like you know what, kind of like when the Mets were super low owned Monday. But whatever, new day, still positive on the month, which is good. So right now, pitching is Otani, Gasman, Darvish, Pivetta, Flaherty, Freed, Kelly, Allen. This is the whole list right here. Some interesting spots to get to, but what are you thinking right now?
Oh, I'm muted. First thing that stood out to me was Freed's ownership, only at 4%, just below the two top guys in Otani and Gasman. Um, I think he probably projects fairly. I mean, similarly enough to where you're getting a fifth of the ownership. I think I might go there. We'll see. I mean, Otani is Otani, and Gasman coming off a bad start is probably due for a 50 piece. But I do think Fried is in play at 5%. Darvish at 9,800 against Seattle makes sense at 25%. Probably would rather not, but he's still in the pool. Pivetta 8,500 is fair, 5%. Kansas City has been hot. Um, I don't know. I mean, they just keep finding ways to win games. Bobby Witt is the GOAT, apparently, of every DFS slate. He steals a bag every time he gets on base. Flaherty, no thanks. Kelly, no thanks. Logan Allen, I guess, because Toronto cannot hit a baseball to save their life right now. Javier, no thanks. Bobby Miller, no thanks. Servino showing up at like almost near 10% ownership. I mean, I get it if you want every good bat on the slate known to man, but he's probably going to get you like -3. David Peterson is cheap. 6,500. Usually he's like 7,500, close to 8K, but I don't know if I can go there. And just, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, definitely some interesting options. You got Otani, chalkiest guy on the slate. I was watching the game last night, and something about how he has a good record at home, 2.8 something ERA, which is good. So definitely like that. Gasman, $200 cheaper at Cleveland, getting 12%, which is kind of interesting. The thing that I think of though is, as we all know, Cleveland just doesn't strike out. But the thing you kind of have to ask yourself about Toronto and Gasman is like, do you think that he can go 6 innings, get a good amount of strikeouts, and Toronto get the win? I mean, he can go like 7 innings and get like 7 strikeouts and no earned runs and still get you a good amount of points without the win. But, with Fanduel being a one pitcher slate, you know, you kind of need every point you can get from your pitcher. Darvish, 9,800 against Seattle, getting roughly the same ownership as Shohei Ohtani. It's interesting at Seattle. Seattle strikes out a bunch. I just feel like we never get Darvish right. So that's kind of why I'm like leaning away from him. Pavetta, 8,500 versus Kansas City. Obviously, Kansas City has been the last 2 games just been unreal. I still like Pavetta a little bit. The last time we played Pavetta, he went insane. So a little bit of a recency bias. He's only getting 6%, which is interesting. You brought up Max Fried. He's only getting 4% ownership and he's 10-6. Definitely the favored matchup. I saw before we started recording, I was checking some odds. I think they're like minus 280, something like that. The Braves are. So I don't really mind that just because he's only getting 4% ownership. So if he can go 6, I think his strikeout prop is 5.5, and the juice is on the over, something like that. Merrill Kelly not challenging the Dodgers. Logan Allen is interesting, but he just doesn't go 6 innings a lot. He just has like one bad inning where he throws like 20 something pitches and that kind of screws him over. Not much else after that. I mean, Severino getting 8% is just insane and is just disrespectful towards my White Sox, which I understand why. But yeah, I would kind of focus on Ohtani, Gasman, Pavetta, Darvish, and Fried, and then kind of just go from there. Rank your pitchers really quick.
Yeah, I have the same 5, just a different order. I got Ohtani, Gasman, Pavetta, Fried, Darvish.
That price tag for Darvish looks good, but it's also like I think the last time we played him, he got us 1. So so let's talk about stacks really quick. So right now it's got Boston, Atlanta, the Yankees, Dodgers, Baltimore, Cubs, Houston, Kansas City. Definitely some interesting spots to get to today. So give me your 2 cents on what you think.
Yeah, I had 6 teams written down originally. Kind of falls in line with where the stack tool is going. Just matching up with Ballpark Pals data. Houston, Atlanta, Boston, Toronto, Cubs, Dodgers, and I just wanted to add Baltimore. I think Atlanta would probably be my favorite right now, showing a little bit of positive leverage, probably just because they're so damn expensive. But Boston showing 25% ownership share as a stack is absolutely disgusting. Yankees against Clevenger is like kind of okay. They just never really seem to do anything. The Dodgers showing some positive leverage with themselves against Kelly. I like them, I think, as a pay up option stack if you're not going to play Atlanta. Baltimore's somewhere in the mid range against Javier, who hasn't been all that good, but hasn't been all that bad either. So, I mean, they blew up Valdez. What was that yesterday? I can see them doing a little bit of damage. Mountcastle still probably like min price on FanDuel for whatever reason and 20% owned. The Cubs I like again. They've just been good over the last month. David Pearson is not worth his salt. Houston, sure. Flaherty had a decent start last outing. I can see him coming down to earth a little bit. If you're not playing.
All right, sorry. What were you saying?
I think I left off on Kansas City. I was just saying, I like them if you're not playing Pavetta, just the ability to have stolen bags up and down the lineup pretty much. And they're pretty darn cheap if you need to get to some higher price bets in a different stack. Toronto, if they ever decide to wake up, it's kind of interesting. I don't like that they're already like 10% on his ownership stack. Uh, they're kind of just like a mid tier play. Mets against Kyle Hendricks, same thing. Not really on anyone below that in the stack tool, I don't think. I don't think I like the D backs, White Sox. Angels, if I feel like San Fran is just always in a bullpen game. Just don't really like it targeting that. Seattle, no thanks. San Fran, no. Pittsburgh, no. And Cleveland, no.
Yeah, some interesting spots today. Boston clear cut number one. Did they screw us over? Yes. Do I still like them today? Yes. Jordan Lyles is just an abysmal pitcher. 25% ownership share, clear cut best stack score, 15% to be the top stack. Atlanta had some positive leverage and their ownership share is 7%. So that's a little intriguing there. The Braves had the same stack score as the Yankees, and the Yankees are getting 12% ownership share, but minus 4% leverage. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Clevenger is just he doesn't strike dudes out. He's serviceable. Um, the Dodgers against Merrill Kelly is interesting. Same thing as the Braves. 3% ownership. Their stack score isn't amazing. Uh, yeah, 3% leverage score, 2% ownership share. So definitely interesting to get to some bats there. Um, Baltimore against Javier. I don't know what it is about Javier and Framber Valdez. They just cannot pitch. Their last like few starts, they haven't been good. Besides Valdez having that no hitter. Um, on the other side of that, Houston against Jack Flaherty. Truth be told, I don't even know if Jack Flaherty is good or not anymore. Houston just kind of almost always looks good when they're fully healthy. Um, Not much else, to be honest. Toronto looks a little interesting against Logan Allen, kind of what I just brought up earlier. That Logan Allen goes like 4 or 5 innings, but he'll have like 70 to like maybe 80 pitches, and they pull him pretty early. 0.8% leverage. No, sorry, minus 2% leverage, 8% ownership share. If I had to rank them, I'd probably go Atlanta, Boston, Yankees, Dodgers, Baltimore. I do like the Cubs a little bit against Peterson. Might be an interesting spot there as well. Did you rank your stacks already and I just missed that?
I can go over it again. I said I think one would be Atlanta, two would be Dodgers, three Houston, four Cubs, five Boston, and then Toronto if they want to actually show up.
I just think they're Toronto's like a good leverage spot just because recently they haven't been hitting. So, um, all right, lineup generator. So we play on Fanduel. We'll go 4-3-1. We'll go balanced. Do you want to lock in anyone or do you want to just skip it for now?
Yeah.
This is the chalkiest lineup. Holy crap. All right, let's just save a bunch of these and we'll just go over what we see. Stack exposure. Oh, would you look at that? Boston Yankees and Baltimore only. 95% Aaron Judge. Some Yoshida, Cassis Devers, Uriah Story. Kind of like these price tags on Rutschman, Henderson. Mountcastle's 2-9. We might have to play a little bit of Boston. McKenna 2-1. Frazier 2-6. What did I do? Kind of interesting what we got going here. So you save up to 20 lineups. You go through here, your fantasy points, ownership projection. You can clear them and redo it, or you can export it to a CSV straight to Fanduel or DraftKings if you play on DraftKings. I still cannot believe 100% Boston. That's insane to me. All right, lead us off with home run calls.
I'm gonna go Ozzy from Atlanta, Spencer Steer from the early slate, and Matt Chapman.
I'm gonna go with Joey Votto, Anthony Santander, and Nolan Jones. I know Nolan Jones just hit 2 yesterday, but when the bat's hot, the bat's hot. That should just about do it though, unless you got anything to add, anything we missed.
No, not really. Just make sure to check out our lineup about 15 minutes before lock. I know yesterday I gave it like 5 minutes before lock, and some people were tilted. That's on me. I'll pay attention to the time a little bit better. Make sure to check out Stochastics data in the description for all the data you need that we just went over. And like and subscribe if you haven't already.